Hello students of Standard 9. Welcome to DAV Mall Public School. I am your English teacher Jagruti Mishra. Let's begin our today's online session of English. Today we will start with a new chapter, Ishwaran the Storyteller. Ishwaran the Storyteller is written by R.K. Lakshman. The title of this chapter, Ishwaran the Storyteller, tells us about Ishwaran. He is called the storyteller because, as storytelling is an art, he is good at it. Ishwaran uses special effects, does voice modulation, uses his body language to make the story realistic so that the listener, that is Mahendra, gets attracted and captivated in his story. The writer wants to highlight this quality of Ishwaran, that he was so good at telling stories that they appeared to be real. His stories were a source of entertainment for Mahendra. Dear students, in this lesson you will come across many difficult words. Here are their meanings. Supervisor, a person whose job is to check the work of all the other people. Bachelor, a person who is unmarried. Makeshift means temporary. Asset means advantage. Anecdote, a short, amusing or interesting story about a real incident or person. Desolate means uninhabited or empty. Conjure up, to gather or create with magic. Zinc sheet shelter, a temporary place to live with the roof made of metallic sheets. Muttering, speaking in a low voice. Dozing off, falling asleep. Arched, curved. Gesture, a movement of hands, forehead to indicate something. Prologue, an introductory speech. Tusker, an elephant. Stamping, hitting with force. Emulsion, efforts to match or surpass a person by imitation or copying. Panic, sudden fear causing unthinkable behavior. Grunted, made a loud sound. The title of this chapter, Ishwaran the Storyteller, tells us that the story is about Ishwaran. He is called the storyteller because, as storytelling is an art, he is good at it. Ishwaran uses special effects, does voice modulation, uses his body language to make the story realistic so that the listener, that is Mahendra, gets attracted and captivated in the story. The writer wants to highlight this quality of Ishwaran, that he was so good at telling stories that they appeared to be real. The story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man, Mahendra. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on hired supervisors at various types of construction sites. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office. Mahendra was a bachelor. His needs were simple. He was able to adjust himself in all conditions, whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent. But one asset he had was his cook, Ishwaran. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly. He used to wash his clothes, cook food for him, chat away with his master at night. Ishwaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients. He would miraculously conjure up most delicious dishes made with fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at the new workplace. Mahendra would be early up in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. Meanwhile, Easwaran would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath, pouring several buckets of water over his head. It would be lunchtime by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running to 100 pages. His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest incidents, he would try to work in suspense and a surprise ending into the account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, with eyebrows suitably arched and hands held out in the dramatic gestures, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. I was half inclined to turn and go back, but as I came closer, I saw it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out. Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair and listen to Ishwaran's tale uncritically. The place I come from is famous for timber, Ishwaran would begin. There is richly wooden forest all around. Ishwaran always used to say that there is richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled onto the lorries by elephants. They use huge well-fed beasts. When they turn wild, even the most experienced Mahavat is not able to control them. After this prologue, Ishwaran would launch into an elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. One day, a tusker escaped from the timber yard. Tusker here means elephant, and began to roam about, stamping on bushes, tearing up wild cripples, and breaking branches at will. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Ishwaran would get so caught up in excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about, stamping his feet in imitation of mad elephant. The elephant reached the outskirts of our town, breaking the fences down like matchsticks. He would continue. It came into the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots, and clothes. People ran here and there in panic. The elephant now entered a school ground where children were playing. Breaking through the brick wall, all the boys ran into the classroom and shut the doors tight. The beast grunted and wandered about, pulling out the football goalpost, tearing down the volleyball net, kicking and flattering the drum kept of water, and uprooting the shrubs. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up the terrace of the school building. From there, they helplessly watched the depredations of elephant. There was not a soul below on the ground. The streets were totally empty, as if the inhabitants of the entire town had suddenly disappeared. I was studying in the junior class. I here is Ishwaran. Junior class at that time, and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. I don't know what came over me suddenly. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teachers and ran down the stairs into the open. The elephant grunted and menacingly slung a branch of a tree which it held in its trunk. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. It looked frightening, but I moved slowly towards it, stick in hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized from nearby housetops. The elephant looked me red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. At that moment, I moved forward and, mustering all my force, whacked its third toenail on the quick. The beast looked stunned for a moment, then it shivered from head to foot and collapsed. At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished and get up mumbling, "I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner." Mahendra, who had been listening with rapt attention, would be left hanging. When he returned, Ishwaran would not pick up the thread of the story right away. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Ishwaran would shrug usually. 2 days later, it was led away by its Mahavat to the jungle. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaran? How did you bring down the beast? Is that something to you with the Japanese art, I think, sir? Karate or judo it is called? I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily paralyzed the nervous system, you see. He used to say that. Not a day passed without Ishwaran recounting some story packed with adventure, horror and suspense. Whether the story was credible or not, Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the inimitable way in which it was told. Ishwaran seemed to be more than make up for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarters. Dear students, we will continue this story in our next session. Now let us quickly recapitulate the story. This story is about Mahendra, a junior supervisor, and his cook Iswaran. Farmer had to keep moving from place to place as ordered by head office, but he had fortunately an expert caretaker, Iswaran, who cooked his meals, washed his clothes, and chatted with him at night. Iswaran was very fond of reading Tamil thrillers during his spare time. As a result, he innovated his own thrillers and would tell about it to Mahendra. The latter used to hear patiently without finding any loopholes in the story. Iswaran often, in his stories, narrated about elephants. For example, he told a story that how he paralyzed a mad elephant that had gone berserk. He told that there were timber logs loaded on trucks, but if an elephant went mad, no Mahavat could control it. The elephant now entered a school ground where children were playing. Breaking through the brick wall, children and teachers ran here and there to save their lives. The elephant was shunned when Ishwaran, then only a little boy, took a rod and hit it at elephant's third toenail. The secret was, if the elephant is hit there, his nervous system gets paralyzed. Dear students, based on our today's topic, here is a short assignment for you. Have a nice day. Thank you.